Okay, after 7 weeks of hell, just before the turn of the year, I've decided I need to do a bit of TV. Reason being is there was an album launch on the 30th of December from a band I absolutely love, and I just want to say that it's picked me spirits up. Now, this band, I stumbled across them just by pure look, I think, on YouTube. So I went, whoa, that's interesting. And then obviously went and done a lot of looking around and searching, and I was just like blown away at what I was listening to, just total breath of fresh air. And I was surprised, actually. I didn't expect this album to be coming out, and I was thinking in my mind, what's happening here, like new album. Obviously ordered it straight away. It's arrived, and I went through it with a fine-tooth comb, actually, and it's just unfucking believable. I love it. Blood and Glitter, the band is Lord of the Lost, and I've got to say, this band, wow. I mean, if my eye looks a bit funny, I've had a lot of problems with it, so I don't know what I'm going to look like on camera. You just have to bear with us, but I'm telling you, if you haven't heard this band, please go and check them out. Things like Black Halo, just what a song, you know. It's just unbelievable. I mean, I'm probably playing it in the background now, maybe just giving you a feel for it, but this band is just like on another level. And I mean, the main man, Chris Harms, he's just like a breath of fucking fresh air, you know. I mean, I talk about singers having icing on the cake, and this guy is just, whatever is on that cake, it just, there's no words to describe it. He's just brilliant. He's just quality. He's just like so different, so unique. And you know, I've been in music since the 70s, and I've seen bands, and I'm mainly a metal-driven rocker, and you know, and I do like all sorts, to the verge of seeing Barbra Streisand, crazy shit going on, you know, loving score music by films, and this guy seems to, or this band seem to just pull about like the most interesting feels and tones, and the way they blend everything together. It's really, really clever. It's got a general sort of feel of like a mix of like the Frankie Goes to Hollywoods, you know, the 80s type sort of feels, and you've got like overriding things like the Rammstein sort of keys and them types of feels, and then being unique with like Till as a singer, love the Ram, and it's, you know, it's that because it's different. It's not just your normal run-of-the-mill metal, you know, a bit cliche, and like that's why I'm getting into these, because they're different. They're a bit like Ghost, where they're playing off like these almost like non-rock singers, but sort of singing in that genre, but not like the way you would expect it to be. So my interest is pulled in by that, and you get caught up in all the theatre of it, and I just love the way they put so much into, you know, dressing up, and they've got like everything going on, and they've got these like amazing songs that, like, you know, they're not geek guitar orientated, which is weird because I love guitars, I play guitars myself, but it doesn't matter. It's the feel that's going on is just insane, and I love electronica, and I love like that Prodigy type sort of tones and feels, and they just seem to bring everything to the table. And I mean, I've got to say that I didn't know what to expect from this album, but wow, I'm just like, some of the songs on it are just like, you know, out of the park. They're just amazing. They just make you feel so up. Yet, I'm not a geek lyric man, but the lyrics are quite dark. When I've just had a quick look through on the album cover, I'm like, fucking wow. that's heavy as fuck, like deep dark. But when you're listening to the song, it's just so uplifting, and the way the structure and the music, it's meta, it's so fresh, you know, it's just so fucking fresh. And I don't, you know, say that lightly. And I think that, you know, like I say, if you haven't heard of this band, The Lord of the Lost, please go and check them out. And you probably need to check certain songs out for the penny really to drop. And like I say, you've got like, you know, they released a double album there last year, I think it was last year, which just got some phenomenal tunes on it, you know. It just mind-blowing, some of the stuff that's coming out of them. And like, personally, you know, I've got my favourites. I'm not really massively into the earlier stuff, a bit like, you know, Rammstein. I don't think they really brought it about until that later time where they're just so like on it, you know, they just, you can't help but just love what they're doing. And the same with Ghost, you know, the earlier Ghost I wasn't sure about, but the later Ghost, it's like a fine wine, it's just, they're just popping all over. And I think this band, for them having the albums out they've got and what they're doing, it's just really, really devastating to me that they're not getting the credibility of like being able to say play arenas like Ghost have moved up to, and then obviously Rammstein are doing these stadium shows that, you know, you would have never thought they could have pulled that off, but they have. And then when you go and see it, it's like it's a sight to behold. The sound, the fucking look, it's just insane. And I just see like Lord of the Lost being able to do that on that level, and I see Ghost doing that on that level, because they've got it going on. But unfortunately, Lord of the Lost, you know, I'm hoping that they're getting more exposure now, and they're going to maybe lift up and be, you know, granted to be able to do it bigger venues, because you can just see that with a little bit of money coming through, and what they're doing now in probably a low level budget is better than most bands are doing with fucking millions of pounds budget. These guys are fucking absolutely knocking it out the park. The videos are insane, the fucking quality, the storyboard, and the song, the feel in the song and the content, it's just like fucking, you know, it's just Under the Sun's another song, man. Fuck me, man. It's just off the fucking charts. It's so good. It's so fucking good. And it's the type of stuff you need to listen to a few times and really appreciate what they're doing. And this Chris Harms guy, man, his voice is, it's mixed up with like I see like all the flavours, like Depeche Mode. It's like, he's not your normal run-of-the-mill rock singer. He's just got this tone, and then he lifts it up, he's screaming. You know, I don't like screamer singers, but I can take him, because when he does it in such a way where it's just great, you know. He does it right, if you want to see. He's not doing it all the time, and when he does do it, he seems to get it right on point, and I love that about him. And then he'll pull back, and then he'll go, and it's just fucking immense, you know. And the backing he's got, I mean, the fucking drummer, the bass player, the guitarist, the keyboardist stroke drummer, or plays a lot of percussion. They're just amazing. They're just putting so many feels and overtones in it. Just absolutely class. And, you know, I just wanted to, you know, sort of mention them in the light of, you know, Lord of the Lost first, before I sort of go on a bit about the album, because, like I say, I've gotten into them in such a way where I've made a playlist that I'll probably write in. Actually, I'll maybe drop this underneath in the comments underneath the video, so that if you want to check them out, if you check them songs out in this particular order, I'm sure you'll realise exactly what I'm talking about. It's just, they've just got everything for me. They've got everything going on there. Like I say, a breath of fresh air, and musically, just unreal. And then, like I say, they've got this offset of a look that's just class, you know. They're just totally got it going on. They must be thinking out their wits end to bring this all about and pull these videos together. And really make the songs pop, you know. Like I say, that Under the Sun is just an unbelievable song, you know. Priest, which was off the new album, you know, it rolls in and you think, where's this going? And all of a sudden it's got this catchy chorus and you just think, oh, fucking hell, man, it's unreal, you know. And there's just so many to name. Obviously I'm not going too much about the Priest stuff. I mean, I probably need to do a documentary on these, to be honest with you, because I feel that much towards them. I think they deserve something like that, and to be, you know, shouted about and put out there, and the people that really enjoy the music. But anyway, so 30th of December, this drops, and I thought, well, here we go. Now they've done a video called Blood and Glitter, which is obviously what the album's called, and I mean, the video again, it's so good the way they've done it. It's just clever as anything. And it is a bit of a song that you need to listen to a couple of times, and I wouldn't say it's my favourite on the album, but I love it, you know, because they're just breaking into these lifty parts, and you can't help but go in there, and you're starting to, he's stabbing stuff, and you're just thinking, fucking hell, mate, that's just awesome, you know, the way you structured that. And that's this whole album. And I'm going to probably speak out of turn here a little bit, but I think this album is just like, it's from the get-go, it's great. The next song up is like, leave your hate in the comments or something. I mean, I've obviously just had it not long and I've been listening to it, and they've done like this funky video for that, but it's just like, you know, it's quite heavy, that one, and again the way they turn and structure things, and it's just amazing. So as the album was going on, there's a song called Dead End. Oh my god, man, what a fucking tune. And just leaving planet Earth, and like absolute attitude, absolute. Honestly, I'm sort of that new to it. I don't know all the song, I'll be honest with you, but what I do know is that if you listen to this a few times, you are just gonna say, wow, this is just like, it's something else. They do a Roxette cover on the end, which is class as well. But it's got like so strange stuff going on where they're just like, you're like, what are they doing here? I just love that when they do that, and they take you somewhere and you think, where? But then when you listen to it twice, you realise why he's done that, and you just think, that's total quality, total coolness. It's totally, you know, production-wise, it's mega. And like I say, this Chris Holmes, he's sitting in doing these lyrics, and he's just kicking it up on these, what I could only call like fucking cocaine choruses, you know. I mean, you think you're taking fucking smack when you're listening to this, man. It's just fucking crazy shit, you know. And I'm listening going, I just feel amazing, you know, when I'm listening. I'm thinking, how did I feel like that? You know, it's like your best metal music when you get them feels. It's all over this record, all over it. I think the problem most people have with it, because it's quite electronic, because it's like Depeche, Frankie, but mixed in with the metal overtones that are just trying to get through, but they're not quite getting through. But they don't need to get through, because it's got that prod sort of like heaviness, and the very synth oriented. But I love that type of shit. Like say, I love score music, and it just seems like you're in a world of fantasy, and like he just does it so well, you know. And I'm sure there's a few more videos that come from this album, and I'm hoping Dead Ends does that one, because it's probably my favourite on the album at the moment, if I'm being honest. It's just unbelievable how it's structured and how it comes across, and you know, like I say, I'm sure the Lord of the Lost fans are listening going, hey, what's going on? Because they seem to like just, even though you can tell it's Lord of the Lost, it's so changed up and from what they've just done, you know, and you're thinking, wow, where are you coming up with all this, like these feels and tones and like the way you're setting out. I mean, Chris Holmes is Chris Holmes, but it's just the fact he's doing what he's doing on top of this structure. It's just amazing, you know. So, like I say, I haven't done videos for a while, and I just thought, you know, to give them their due and to give them a bit of support with a new album, I just felt like, you know, I wanted to come on camera and just wax lyrical about them a little bit, because I do believe that these are going to go higher. I think they did get on the Maiden tour, and it's a bit funny, you know, because Iron Maiden, apparently they love them, but then you wonder if the Iron Maiden fans would get that, because no disrespect to Maiden, but you know, I'm from the Diano era, and the reason why I like that era so much is very similar to Lord of Luck, because it wasn't a typical metal singer I had. He was like quite punk metal, and the way they were playing was quite different to the genre of the time, say the Judas Priest, which I love Judas Priest, one of my favourite bands back in the day. I brought up on them, and to me they'll never ever get close to them, but certainly not from the early days. But the reality of the situation was, it was so different to listen to Maiden then. They were fresh, they were different, and Harris's bass was very out there, strong, very unusual, which is why I liked them. Then they got Bruce in, which is your typical metal singer, and to me, even though I do quite like a lot of Maiden on album, because he sort of sits in okay there, but every time I've seen them live, I've seen them on the No More the Beast tour, and I thought, it's just not the same band. It's the energy totally shifted, and they're very pro, you know, they do the job really well, and you can't knock them for that. But to me, the energy that they used to have, it just seemed to dissipate, and it's just not there for me. They just seem like they're flat and nothing's happening. And this band is supporting them, and obviously Maiden, you know, they're a phenomenon in their own right. They sell out everywhere, and obviously the fans are die hard. You cut them and fucking Eddie falls out, you know, and I get that. And you know, if that's what people are into, then that's what they're into. But then I worry that these are supporting these, and they're not quite picking up on the fact of what they're trying to become, which is so different to Iron Maiden, you know. But they seem to have enjoyed the tour. They're playing full houses. I mean, Maiden fans go in at fucking 6 and they stop until the last minute, you know. So you're guaranteed, like unlike a lot of support bands, might have half a crowd. The fucking place is packed, you know. I've seen the pictures. It's insane, you know. I was watching them, but are they getting them? Are they understanding this band, this phenomenon that is just unbelievable? Now they've been fortunate enough to be asked again to go and play with them, which is brilliant, you know, because they're going to get in front of fans again, and hopefully the penny will drop and people will buy up some of that stuff, and they'll really realise how good these guys are doing it. But it is very, very, very different to not just Maiden themselves, but to all the metal sort of generalisation, because people don't get the fact that it's this, like, you know, mix up of a 80s electronic sort of situation going on, and I don't know whether that's what these type of fans want to hear, or metal fans in general want to hear, which is a pity really, because to me it's just like a breath of fresh air, because you're seeing all these bands coming out and they're just a repeat of what's been, and it's just like, really? And some of them have got okay songs, but some of them not so okay, and yet seem to be doing okay, and I just don't get it. I don't understand how they're getting anywhere really. However, that is the situation. So Lord of the Lost, you know, hopefully will be able to, you know, collect their own crowds, or pick up people, because there's thousands there, and even if you're seeing 10,000 a night and 1,000 people seem to get them, that's another 1,000 fan base for them, and over 20 gigs, that's 20,000 fans, isn't it? So hopefully, God bless them, they'll do that and start to be able to play the bigger venues and really show people what they're about, because I couldn't imagine what this band would do if they were given the opportunity to go on them type of levels, you know. I just think they would just be knocking it out of the park, you know, 100% knocking it out of the park. And you know, like I say, they've just brought this album out, and it's just so different to the last one and the one before and the one before that, and even when they've got that vein in there, they're just so creative, so creative. They also do some strange shit, the Lord of the Lost, which they've done this like last year. They've done this like Christmas thing, and I just didn't get it at all. I just thought, well, I just didn't. It wasn't the type of thing I was into. But I don't mind that, because I'm not going to disown them because they do that, because they're just trying different things and throwing mud against the wall. And some people love that, and some people don't love it, and that's fine. But like the generalising of what they're doing each album, to me, other than the earlier albums, which they were just cliche a bit, they weren't quite, they didn't quite have that style mastered, they didn't quite have them songs that really hit home. They've got odd little ones, but to me personally, they've come into their own the last, say, 4 albums, including this one. To me, it's a bit like Ghost, a bit like Ram. I mean, they're just like, they're mature and like unbelievable, and they've just got this off to a fine art, and it's fantastic to be part of it, because, like I say, I'm a metaler through and through, but I'm just not getting like the latest thing in metal, what they're trying to deliver. It's just too, it just becomes a bit boring, and then you're just thinking, how man, change it up a bit, you know, do something a little bit different. And there's only a few bands that are probably modern bands that, say like a band like Alter Bridge, who, you know, I've really come to love that band, and the actual album Walk the Sky, which I thought was phenomenal. A lot of fans are saying it's the worst album. I'm like, but you see, that album to me, they changed things up, they put atmosphere into it, the catchiness was there, and to me, that's why I enjoy it as much. I'm not saying I don't enjoy the earlier stuff, because I do. I've brought up on it, I've seen them, and I've seen them mature live and go from strength to strength. So, you know, there's still bands there that are like the Shinedown. They went the opposite way. They were like fucking back to front, you know. They've just got, to me, they're just going, they're building up a fan base, but they're not building up what I thought they would have built from the Sounds of Madness album, which was just absolute class, you know. And then they go on to do stuff that just, to me, isn't just, it just isn't cutting and sounding as good as that. They almost peaked there, and but they seem to be getting a better bass. But to me, I've seen them last live, and I was just so disappointed. Yet earlier days, I loved them. I got lucky to see Lord of the Lost live. I was meant to see them twice, they cancelled. And then I seen them, and then I was meant to see them twice again, and they cancelled. So I'm gutted I've only seen them once, but I can assure you, live, they were amazing. They were amazing. I was right down the front as well, luckily enough. I seen them in Leeds, and they were just fucking brilliant, you know. And I just thought, wow, I've just got to see more use. Unfortunately, that never materialised, and when they've done this own like tour, they didn't really come to Britain, and I was going to go away, but I'd already been to America for 4.5 weeks, and out in Europe seeing Ram and Ghost and all these bands, and it just didn't fit my schedule. And of course, just before the break up for the year, I've been absolutely ill with eye, stomach problems, just couldn't fucking make it up really. Obviously I'm only paying at the moment now, and I've still got stuff to hopefully get us back to normal, but what I can say is this is really, you know, gives a lift, because it's just so nice to listen to something fresh anyway, and have something new, and you think, oh yeah, come on, I love it, I love it, I love it. So look, I'm going to love you and leave you. Please, it's 2023, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, give us a comment, let us know if you started listening to them, what you think, you know. We'd love to hear back from you. But this album, Blood and Glitter, man, wow, it's just absolutely unreal. I'm sure you'll hear that if you take time out to listen to it, and hopefully you'll do that. And I'm hopefully going to get some more videos, because I'm going to be a bit homeward bound at the moment, so I'm going to, hopefully my eye's not pissing me off too much and looking a bit mad, but the plan is to do some reviews and do some stories and get back into the Vinny TV a little bit, and you know, hopefully you'll enjoy some of the stuff that's about to come. But for the time being, Lord of the Lost, go for it, man. Get them on your turntable. I'm sure you're just going to be absolutely fucking blown away with this band, because they are on another level. They're just so far out there. They're so ahead. that they deserve people to get attention to them, listen to them, and just see the efforts they're putting in, and hopefully you'll become a fan like me. God bless you, and I'll see you in another one soon. Bye.